It's 8:17. Right now I'm joined by Joshua Hood. He's a 14-year-old author from Charleswood. Teddy the Tour Boat is his book series. Thanks a lot for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you've written 3 books on tour boats. How did this interest in tour boats come about?
Well, I started writing when I started with the Little Thomas the Tank Engine trains, and I started retelling my stories, and then I started making my own stories. And then when I was in grade 1, I was introduced to the Mr. Men books, and I started reading those, and I became obsessed with them. I think now I have 70 in my collection. And I started making my own characters and everything. And when I had to write a school project, it had to be a short story. And I remembered back to when my dad was a captain on a pontoon boat, and I decided to base it off the adventures of that, because when I was a kid I imagined all the boats would interact with each other, and they'd have little stories, and each story has elements from true parts of the adventures I had on the boats.
So you're only 14, so obviously you've always kind of been a very creative kid.
Yeah, I loved creating things, loved making things, I love expressing myself.
Now, you also did the illustrations in all these books. Have you always been, able to draw, or was this something you kind of had to learn a little when you decided to start this?
Well, I drew the first picture, and I actually didn't know that I could draw. I drew the first picture, and I thought to myself, wait, this is actually kind of good. And I decided to keep it. I kept drawing the illustrations myself because I know what the boats look like the best. I can picture what I want the best, so.
You kind of have the same level of talent as me, kind of good.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. Those are great illustrations. Now, when you wrote this book and did the illustrations, you decided to go to the publisher, and you went to the publisher yourself. Where did you get up with this idea? That sounds like quite an ambitious plan for a 14-year-old.
Well, I went on Amazon.com one night, and I scrolled down and I saw self-publish with that, so I decided to explore that a bit. And the next day I walk in, they say, Dad, I published a book. Mom, I published a book. And I walk into school the next day, I published a book. And everyone couldn't believe it because I've been all talk for the past 5 years or so.
Yeah. Well, what was their reaction when you told them you published a book? They wanted to know what was going on, I guess. They said, oh, how much do you make? What does it look like? Where are you? Who are the publishers? Who are these people that are talking to you on the internet? Typical parents, right away, they ask, how much do you make? Way to go, Mom and Dad. No, hopefully you'll make like a little bit of money off of this. Now, you also are branching out. You have a YouTube channel. Tell us about that.
I have a YouTube channel where I just make videos on my spare time. I have 1.9 million views on that at the moment. And I'm branching out into computer animation right now. And I'm working on a 10-episode TV show. I've got the voices recorded for those 10 episodes, and I've got the first 5 episodes coming out on DVD this summer.
You sound like you're quite the multimedia magnate here. What are your future plans? I mean, you've done some writing, you're doing some YouTube stuff. I mean, when you look in the future, career-wise, what kind of do you want to do? Or is this it?
Well, it's a hard decision. I mean, I like writing, I like animating. I've signed on to write for a new TV show that's in development for children called The Adventures of Ryersonville Harbor and the Big Marina, and I think I'm doing 8 episodes of that. And I'm just trying to see if I can continue writing.
Very talented. Now, McNally Robinson, on Sunday you have a book launch, right?
Yeah, I have a book launch on April 14th, which is Sunday, at 2 p.m. at McNally Robinson. I'll be selling and signing books and doing a live reading. And there'll be lots of food there as well.
Oh, that's good. All right, lots of food too. Joshua, thanks a lot for coming in this morning and tell us about all your adventures, really. We appreciate that.
Thanks for having me.
All right, right now we're going to go up to the rooftop. Terry's standing by in the cool weather.